Diatonic diminished chord scales are actually not that complicated if you just remember that they are symmetrical structures, and so there's only a certain combination of possibilities that you could end up with in a diatonic environment. If you memorize the most optimal possibilities, you can quickly memorize what any scale would be. So let me explain. The passing diminished scale chords, which are listed down here, there's really only, they're listed as both ascending and descending, but there's really only 4 scales, because the sharp 2 and flat 3 are the same, sharp 4 and flat 5 are the same, and sharp 5 and flat 6 are the same. And flat 2 really never happens, so sharp 1 is the only one you have to worry about there. You'll notice that if we analyze what is possible diatonically, we see that all of these passing diminished scales can all have T flat 13 and T major 7, every single one of them. So that means it's so easy to remember, because you know that 100% of these scales have T flat 13 and T major 7. So then all you have to memorize is which one has T9 available, and it turns out it's this one, and which one has T11 available. Only one of them has T9, only one of them has T11. So if you remember that sharp 2 has T9 and sharp 4 has T11, you have now memorized every single passing diminished or common passing diminished chord. Coming up here for auxiliary diminished, there's only 2 that we're really dealing with in our curriculum, and they both share T9 and T11, so they have that in common, and only one of them has T major 7, which is 1 diminished. So the common tones amongst auxiliaries are T9 and T11. The common tones amongst passing are T flat 13 and T major 7. And then you just memorize the exceptions, and it's very easy to then write the scale, and I will demonstrate that next by using this memorization method. Take the following example. If I had memorized that, once I figure out what my chord is, in this case I'm in the key of E flat and I have an F sharp diminished, and I realize that chord is sharp 2 diminished, and if I have memorized that, I know that's a passing diminished chord, and I know absolutely for certain that it's got T flat 13 and T major 7, and I also know that it's the one that has T9, then all I have to do is put in my note. Using memory to do this, I spell out my chord tones. I talked about that in another video. You can use all minor thirds to get all the right chord tones. Then I can immediately move to my in-between notes, and I can simply label them from memory and double check them. So I know that sharp 2 diminished has a T9, and I see here that G is not a T9. So I ask myself, well, maybe there's another diatonic note here, and the answer is there is. A flat, which is a whole step above F sharp, G flat. So I still keep my diatonic note, but I just spell it as a G sharp so that it's my T9. Then I know that this from memory is going to be a harmonic avoid note. I know that that's going to be T13, and I know that's going to be T major 7. Now, like with any technique, you need to practice it a bit, but once you get confidence in it, you will be able to label things very, very quickly. In the case of something like 1 diminished, in certain keys, you're going to get a lot of double flats and stuff. You can just enharmonically spell them so that they are, you can see that every in-between note is diatonic. So again, I've gone through the process of spelling my chord tones first by using all minor thirds. It's thinking enharmonically as necessary. And then I go back, I put in my diatonic in-between notes, and I've memorized that diminished has a T9 and has a T11 and has a T major 7, and this note is a harmonic avoid note, which we color in the note head to show that it's a harmonic avoid note. And that's it, we're all done. So this process of memorizing helps you to zero in on the right notes, the right labeling right away. And once you get confident with it, you will be able to do it very quickly, because you'll trust it. After you've checked it over many, many times and you've seen it's always correct, you'll realize that this memorization here is going to save you a lot of time and get you to the right answers very quickly.